love. Welcome home to Eden. This is Eve Christoph, your Love Life Muse. So let's talk about it. What is the world going to look like when feminism unites with patriarchy and there is a union, a fusion, a synergy between the two? Well, these are some things to look forward to. First of all, when we pull humanity's existence back from the brink of extinction, people will take it much more seriously that we must integrate a whole new paradigm. And that paradigm is going to be, it's going to be based on the total embracing of the full cycle, the full circle of life, and the feminine as central to that rather than tangitory or disregardable. So you're going to see, first of all, you'll see, let's talk about science. Science is going to be including consciousness. Science will no longer be simply about matter and the idea as if matter could exist without consciousness, as if it does exist without consciousness, which is so absurd. But anyway, so all of the law of attraction stuff about where you look and what you see and what you look for amplifying and how what we focus on is what we get and what we magnetize, all of that is going to show up in science. It already is showing up in terms of, like, when they do an experiment, they notice wherever they look, that's where the molecules appear. So that's going to be fascinating, which is going to involve, once you get consciousness really united with technology and science, now you're able to time travel. Now you're able to control gravity. Do I sound insane? That's the way the feminine always sounds to the masculine. And so this, quote, insanity of the woman is no longer, it's going to be seen as clarity. And so when it comes to gardening and agriculture, oh my God, it's so exciting, because what'll happen is all this stuff about quick fixes, about grow the food fast, douse it with chemicals, kill all the bugs so that we get more now for profit, that will be so obsolete after we've almost destroyed all of the land of the earth. To come back to microorganisms and what it means to really nourish the soil as we go and have crops that propagate each other and bees that are happy. So we'll be learning from Cuba, for example, about how to do sustainable pesticides that are natural and not toxic, but we'll also be learning from the shamans about how to communicate with pests and animals. Pests. The animals, we'll be learning about the full cycle of how each animal is part of the story of the whole garden. So that's going to be amazing. Then you go to medicine and the hospitals. Oh my goodness, you're going to love this. So what will happen is you're going to have midwives no longer kept out of the story. The midwives who have birthed thousands of babies now are kept out of the hospitals, and they're told that those are the dangerous women, and birth is in the hands of men, for God's sakes. The worst thing you could possibly do to women, because they don't know anything about it. They don't know how to feel into the organic process and trust the divine birth energies and work with them, but the midwives do. So the midwives will be included into the hospital story, and so will a lot of their magic and their medicine. So herbalism will also be part of the hospital care system. The witches will no longer be on the fringe. They will be central to health. So doctors will be paid to keep people healthy rather than douse them with things that just sort of take care of the topical, problems but don't address the cure. So you'll also have shamans connecting in there with healthcare in terms of the spiritual problems of people, and also psychologists and people with doctorates and PhDs in psychology, helping people to make changes that that are really where their spiritual illness comes from. And then you'll have fitness people as part of the whole healthcare system, how to really get people loving to exercise. So the whole thing's going to shift around. The whole planet is going to shift around into well-being as a whole way of being human that is about loving ourselves and loving each other and uniting with each other and learning from each other's cosmic, glorious capacity to love. You know, I had a really unusual pregnancy in Mexico, and there were the midwives were not allowed to help me at a certain point because I got into giving birth like 4 months early, and I had to keep my baby inside my tummy in my womb for 3 months, my legs crossed and all that. So, but one of the things that was given to me was a plant, an amazing plant that turns water fuchsia. I mean, it's like the color of, can you see this flower? Can you see the flower? That color, turn the water that color, and you had to cook it with gold. And I drank it all day long during this process of 3 months to keep myself from giving birth. And it relaxed my womb the whole time. So the doctors at the hospitals ran out of all their medicines, which were making my heart palpitate and keeping me like I thought I was going to have a psychotic break on all their stupid medicines. But as soon as the goddess witch lady took over and gave me her plant, all the women of the whole hospital kept coming to give us their gold rings, because it had to be cooked with new gold every day. And their gold rings kept my baby alive. So these kind of the combination of science with magic, with shamanism, with herbalism, with love, with consciousness, with mathematics, the union of all of these will be extremely exciting. The tetrahedron of existence, the sacred geometry within ourselves, and in that flower of life symbol, and in shells, these will become orbits of our understanding and our ability to create much more powerfully, initiate realities with our minds, and time travel. So that's a little glimpse of what to look forward to as the divine feminine emerges, while science has come so far in such a way without the feminine as to destroy our chance as a species to continue, perhaps. You get the dire need finally, because all along men have been thinking, this is great, we can just use women as slaves, and we can use them for sex, and we can dominate them and control them, and this is so cool because now we'll just have our way all the time. We'll control everything and show everybody that we're more powerful with our guns and our but what I love about extinction is that finally it's the chance for everybody to look at the feminine and go, wow, we missed the whole boat, we missed the whole story. We were supposed to be serving life, and we are beginning to do so in our as we tip ourselves towards a life of union with love and the feminine, and allow her to be that powerful. There will even be a way in which people will call on God the Mother. They will feel that the feminine is more powerful than the masculine, but they won't do this with a way of putting down the masculine or making him less than or unequal or subservient or all those things. It'll simply be that the feminine, the heart-centered consciousness of the mystery within men as well as within women, within nature, will be revered as this very, very tender balance that we are just allowed to enjoy and be part of and learn from and create with, co-create with. So procreation will not just be about loving sexuality and sacred divinity of sexuality and the sacred truth of women. It will also be about really what it is to be artists. So the arts will become central to our lives. Live music, live dancing, doing art, murals, theater events, but things, instead of it being all about the elite who are the best at it, and then who can show how many pirouettes they can do, and who can show, it's all more competition about athleticism, who can be more politically annoying in their murals or whatever. No, the whole thing will turn into how the art is done, and how it brings community together, and how it allows you to feel the gods, feel the spiritual dimensions of nature, and to feel to feel the feeling level of the invisible realms, that 95% that we don't see, that really is where we all exist. Much love, darling. Look forward to this. Look forward to how life is becoming unified with a feminism, with masculinism. Okay, much love, darling. Love life.